Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm Neil Goldman, a past president of Bethel, honorary trustee, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, we welcome everybody to this evening's services. Rabbi is away, so I will be leading, and we thank Sharon Ruiz for also joining us to lead services tonight. If you're new to the congregation, please make yourself, known to me and Sharon, and we can give you a more proper welcome. Everybody can take a second and please turn off their cell phones. We would appreciate that. You can check your pamphlets and Tuesday e-bulletins for all that's going on. We've got a pretty busy calendar going on here. So to stay in touch, and you'll see all the events that we have going on. So I think we are ready to go. We will start with page 1. We'll start on page 128 with Hine Matov.
Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Now we'd like to call up our Brotherhood President, Dave Pentel, and our Education Director, Vicki Kennedy, to come light the candles and help us with the wine. Please turn to page 120. 120.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'yahava uvratzon, hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila, lemikrae kodesh, zecher litziat, Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol hamim, svat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. Yes, no, I got Vicky on the candles. Yeah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav. What? Vaughn? No, we did that one. We got the two in wrong. Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Shabbat Shalom. Don't worry, it's my last time. I've already messed up on the first two things.
We're good. Okay, page 138 for Lecha Dodi. We will do verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Once we get to 9, we ask if everybody rises and faces the back of the synagogue, sanctuary, as we welcome in the Shabbat Bride.
Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat, Shumor v'zachor b'dibor echad. Hishmianu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad, Ushemo echad, L'shem tiferet v'litila. Lecha dodi likra kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likra kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki hi mekor habaracha, Merosh mikedem nesucha, Sof maseh b'machshavat chila. Lecha dodi likra kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likra kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoriri, kiva orech, kumi ori, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai elayich nigla. Lecha dodi likra kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likra kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha uv'tahala, Tov emunei am segula, Boi chala. Lecha dodi likra kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likra kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela.
Please be seated. We now turn to page 142 for Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Very nice. Very nice. We now turn to page 146 for the Baruch Hu, and if you rise, if you are comfortably able.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. Please join with me reading on page 148. 148. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Sivaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai Amariv Amarvim. And we join together again on page 150. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night will we reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Please rise for the Shema on page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We now turn to page 154 for the V'ahavta.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha, uv'chol meodecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, B'shivtecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha b'derech, uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha, u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uv'isharecha, leman tizkeru, Ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet.
Very good. We now turn to page 159, and we read together. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, for soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Page 158, Micha Mocha.
Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osef ele, Nora tehilot osef ele. Malechutecha ra'uvanecha, Bokei hayom lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Ze'eli anu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar kifad Adonai Yaakov, Ugalo mi'ad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
We turn to page 160 for the Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai, v'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
Please join me in reading the English portion on the same page 160. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are graceful and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people, Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haparei suchat v'shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Now turn to 162 for Vishamru.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, lidorotam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, lidorotam berit olam. Veini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, oti leolam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshe yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai, et hashamayim, et haaretz, vishamru v'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, lidorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, lidorotam berit olam.
We now turn to the Tefillah on page 164 to page 170, and we ask if you rise if you are comfortably able.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, u'Mevi Geula Livnei Bneihem, L'man Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishene afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, umidom elach, melech memit umechaye, umazmiach Yeshua, nemanata yod hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated. We now turn to page 175 and read together at the bottom. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. Let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odecha levadecha b'riyah nahavot. And on page 177, again on the bottom. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, ato shemcha lecha ne'eh lehodot. We now turn to page 178 for Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech Adon Lecho ha-shalom, shalom rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. B'tov be'enecha levarech, et amcha Yisrael. B'chol eit u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
And now our thoughts turn to those who are in need of healing, whether it is of mind or body or spirit. The congregation is thinking for healing of Carol Solomon, June Van, Rabbi Michael Matchison, Sherry Chait, Larry Michaelov, Fran Marcus, Paige Hedrick, Kathy Weiner, Rob Moreland, Arthur Angelico, Ken Friedman, Dorn D'Amelia, Randy Pakula, Ronald Lieberman, Stuart Rosenthal, David Adler, Melvin Cohen, Marianne Brown, Elise Rubin, Margaret Lawson, Pepe Perez, Marvin Weisblatt, Bobby Yales Gibson, Joanne Lifshitz, Myra Barksky, Kimberly Aslin, Jennifer Levine, all the Israeli soldiers injured in war, all the civilians in this war and in any other war, and also Mr. Mark Pendergraft. And I would invite anybody who has a name they would like to share with the community to do so when my eyes meet yours. We now turn to page 371 for the Mishiberach. Please rise if you are comfortably able.
Misheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Please be seated. And now we'll take a moment for private reflection. We will come out on page 180 with the Oseh Shalom.
Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody, again. This week's Torah portion, called Shalach Lecha in the book of Numbers, tells one of the most heartbreaking stories in the Torah, and one that instructs us on the value of perspective, of optimism and over pessimism. Standing at the threshold of the promised land, the Israelites are poised to fulfill the dream that has guided them since the exodus from Egypt. God tells Moses to send 12 scouts to go up from where they are and survey the land of Canaan, which they are being given. Moses selects one scout from each of the 12 ancestral tribes. After 40 days, they return and report that the land is everything that God has promised. And yet they return with two different truths. 10 of the 12 scouts, shaped by generations of slavery, look at the promised land and see only obstacles. Yes, they report, the land flows with milk and honey, but the people are powerful. The cities are fortified. We seem like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and so we must have seemed to them. Only Caleb and Joshua offer an opposing perspective. They see the same facts, the same cities, and the same challenges, yet they draw a different conclusion. Let us go up at once and possess it, for we are surely able to overcome it. Our tradition teaches us that slavery does not only mind the body, it constricts the imagination. The 10 spies, despite their freedom, were still living psychologically in the bondage of Egypt. They had left Pharaoh behind, but they had not left the mentality of the enslaved. Their bone-deep belief that they were not worthy, not capable, and not enough. So the question remains, why did God punish the people so severely for believing the spies? Why decree 40 years of wandering, 1 year for each of the 40 days that the spies were in the land? Is God punishing that weakness? I don't think so. The Torah is teaching us something far more subtle. The generation that left Egypt was not condemned for their fear. Fear is human. They were not condemned because they wept. Weeping is human. They were condemned because they could not separate fear from reality. They declared that what they had feared was what was true. They said, we cannot do this. Not we are afraid, but we cannot. That's the difference. And that declaration of we cannot became a self-fulfilling prophecy, not because God was punishing them, but because the people who have decided that they are grasshoppers will live as grasshoppers. A community that declares its own impossibility cannot build the possible. The Torah reminds us that fear can distort reality. The 10 scouts allowed anxiety to define their vision. They focused on what could go wrong, and in doing so, they lost sight of their own strength, their own community, and the promise of the Lord. Their fear became contagious. It spread throughout the camp, leading the people to despair, even considering picking a new leader and going back to Egypt, and ultimately to God's decree of 40 years of wandering so that this fearful generation would pass before the next generation could inhabit the promised land. How often do we do the same thing? We live in a world that's filled with concerns. We worry about our families, our health, our finances, our future. We look at the challenges facing our nation, our Jewish community, our families. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed. Like the scouts, we may see ourselves as grasshoppers, too small to make a difference. But Joshua and Caleb teach us another, better way, the way of hope over fear, optimism over pessimism. We do not need to deny difficulty. They did not pretend the cities weren't fortified. They didn't ignore the risks. You can acknowledge reality while refusing to surrender to fear. You can have the courage to believe that the challenges are not the end of the story. Throughout our history, we have faced enormous obstacles, prejudice, persecution, uncertainty. Yet generation after generation chose hope over despair. We built communities, pursued justice, and worked to create a better world. We didn't wait for perfect conditions. We moved forward because our tradition teaches us a better world requires action. The question of Shalat Lecha is not simply, what do you see? It is, how do you see it? It is all in your perspective. We may not know every step of the journey. The path may be difficult, but we learn that to see it through the eyes of courage, the eyes of possibility, and the eyes of hope. And if we do that, we can find a path forward. Shabbat Shalom. We now turn to page 678 for Hatikva. Please rise if you are comfortably able.
Kolod balevav penima, nefesh Yehudi homiya, ufate mizrach kadima, ayin letzion Sophia, Ola Tikvatenu, Hatikva bat shnot alpayim, liotam chovshi be'artzenu, Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim, liotam chovshi be'artzenu, Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim.
Actually, shouldn't have done that. Page 586 for the Elenu. Trying to get you a little exercise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, la'tekedu la liotzer breshit, Shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vigor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu Noteh Shamayim v'Yosed Haaretz, Umoshav Yekaro Bashamayim Mimal, Ushchinatu Zo, Begov He Meromim, Hu Eloheinu Ein Od, Emet Malkeinu Efesulato, Kakatuv betorato, v'yadata hayom, v'hashevota elevavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, v'shamayim mimal, v'al ha'aretz, mitachat ein od, v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. Turn to page 594. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, a fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love, for your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. And this week, the congregation is remembering those we have lost in the last year. Phyllis Atkins, Jackie Gould, Madeline Coco Radovici, Sue Ann Blumenthal, Eugene Belkin, Carol Friedman, Martin Horowitz, Grace Belkin, Howard Silvers, Jeanette Greenwald, Lee Schwartz, Ronald Harris Lieberman, Maxine Safer Goldberg, Carol Wallace, Helene Levy Gold, Stephen Blumberg, Estelle Sylvia Beckerman, Sean Curley, Natalie Rosenberg, and Doris Trujillo Rojas. And we are also remembering those we have lost in times past: Elizabeth Cooper, Jerry Dorman, Blake Froman, Irene Ginsburg, Cynthia Lee, Benjamin Mack, Pauline Mack, Ruth Matchison, Amy Morris, Meyer Morris, and Jacob Sklover. And if you have anybody whose name you would like to add to our list, please do so when my eyes meet yours.
Bob Woodcheck.
Very good. We now rise for page 598, the Kaddish.
Yitkadal v'yitkar shvei rabba ve'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael v'agala u'v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam u'lomei elmaya
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal shemei d'kudisha barichu
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechmata, da'amiram be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlomo rabba min shemaya,
v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael
v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom v'yimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru
amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, and to that we say, amen. Please be seated. We now have our closing song on page 625. Please join for Adon Olam.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'chevzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Vehu Haya Vehu Hoveh Vehu Yiyeh B'tifara Vehu Echad V'yein Sheni Lehamshilo Lehahira Beli Reshit Beli Tachlit Velo Haoz V'hamisra Vehu Eli V'chai Goali V'tzur Chevli V'etzara Vehu Nisi Umanosli Menat Kosi Beyom Ekra Beyado Avkid Ruchi Beit Ishan Ve'aira Ve'im Ruchi Geviati Adonai Li Velo Ira.
And now we rise one last time for page 603 for the priestly benediction.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka.
May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. 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 Hein yehi ratzon.
Very nice. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shalom. Shalom.
Thank you, Sharon.
My pleasure.
Terrific job. You did a great job. Very good. We might ask you to do it again. Be careful. Be careful. No, you won't. Don't forget the beginning. What?